Hi, everybody. So nice to be here with you again this month. What I want to talk about this month is the idea of how we speak to ourselves. Because most of the time, most of us, it's a conversation that isn't kind, and we don't even notice it. We've normalized it. And so I want to pose the question, do you speak to yourself like someone that you love? Do you speak to yourself with the same empathy and the same compassion and the same kindness that you would to a good friend or a lover or a partner that you wanted to be supportive to, that you were listening to, that you were helping find resolution in challenges or face challenges or celebrate the accomplishments? Do you speak to yourself the same way, like someone that you love? A lot of times when we grow up, if we grow up without enough acceptance, and it's our perception, remember, this isn't about putting blame on parents. A lot of times parents only know what they know, and they pass down the programming that they received. They have programming from their parents have programming from their parents, and this is how we pass ancestral lines. So when we perceive that we didn't receive, and sometimes we actually didn't, other times it's a wound that we receive from our perception because we weren't able to really process a situation or a circumstance. It became very personal to us. Prior to the age of 7, it's all personal. It's something's wrong with me. I'm not good enough. I didn't do it right. Beyond the age of 7, we now are loaded with programming of memories all day, every day, subconscious mind taking in all of the imprints. And so we feel that we didn't receive enough acceptance, or we start to feel shame. We start to hide. We start to maybe cling to what we believe are our shortcomings, our flaws, what's wrong with us, where we feel broken. We might start to hide them. We might start to only focus on the pain, on the failures, where I didn't get that good grade, or where I didn't excel in this one study, even though school is about about testing all of your aptitudes. You were never supposed to be the best at everything. But that's our perception. We feel like we have to be the best in gym class, and we have to be the best athlete, and we have to be the best in English class, and we have to be the most proficient in every single study we take on. But that's simply not possible. But it's not set up that way, and we don't even hear it if it is said that way, because all day, every day, what we're taking in from the world is if we aren't as good as who we're comparing ourselves to, then we're not enough. And then we have to hide that. And then we feel shame. And we start doing this at a very, very young age. And so what happens is we start to minimize the good things about ourselves because our brain then starts training to protect us from ever getting hurt again. So now it's only becoming hypervigilant and focusing on what we need to stay away from. Now we've got patterns. Now imagine we're 3, 4, 5, and we're already creating these patterns. 6, 7, 8, 10, 13. Now we're in puberty. Now it's all about our worth, all about our value, contingent on how others feel about us. Now our brain is habitually expecting to see the evidence to back up all that we're believing about us that creates our own emotional prison, our own emotional pain, our shame, our guilt, what we're hiding. And what starts to happen is all of the beautiful things about us, the things that make us unique, the way that we look at the world, or the way that we love nature, or the trees, or wind, or animals, our innate love for ourselves, our surroundings, our creativity, our humor, our curiosity, all of the things that we innately are born with, and we each have a different set of those attributes, we stop paying attention to them. We treat them like they don't exist. We forget about them. We basically lock them away because we are so focused on avoiding what may cause us pain. Because we received the message, or we created that message unconsciously, that life is a struggle. that we don't deserve happiness, that that's for other people, perfect people, people in our head that don't actually exist, but that's how we see them. And the addition of social media and the impact on children's brains is showing that now more than ever, our kiddos, the young, our community youth, are basing their value on how many likes a post gets, how many comments, positive interactions. And in reverse, because human nature right now is, if we feel that we're not good enough and we see someone else out there putting themselves out there, if we haven't dealt with our own stuff yet, we tend to then knock them down to feel better. Who does she think she is? She thinks she's perfect. Look at her, look at him. And so then there is negative engagement. And then we are just reinforcing the shame, reinforcing I'm broken, reinforcing I'm not good enough, and compounding. And that, fast forward in life, creates a populace of people who have lost themselves, lost the belief in their innate worth and value and uniqueness and skills and abilities and beauty. Right? And we're in a stress response most of the time, but we're not designed to be. Our bodies are not designed to be. What this creates, scientists call this a negative bias. And so we are constantly just reinforcing and looking for the validation and verification that we are needing to be mindful of everywhere that can cause us harm. And so you see more people are becoming introverted. More people are becoming anxious. More people are suffering from depression. The numbers continue to rise. We have to use technology, not have technology use us. And the way we begin that route back is like anything else that we want in our life. We want a healthier relationship, a happier relationship. We want to be happier at our job or with our colleagues. We want to be more successful in our business. We want to have healthy boundaries, get proper rest, have great communication with others, have a healthy balance between our social life and our work life. All of this we're navigating in a world that continues to send us tigers. Right? Our ancestors survived due to their ability to scan the environment for danger and then take action to avoid it, to run, to hide, or to fight if they needed to. There was very little survival value in relaxing and just relishing in the beauty around us. Our brains are not wired to do that. And so self-compassion begins by realizing that we have a right to be happy. And all of the information coming from all of the different outlets, whether you have subscriptions to Netflix and Amazon Prime and television cable, all of this, you start to notice that what you're choosing is on autopilot most of the time. And you are responding to tigers all day long, putting out fires all day long, trying to avoid pain all day long, trying to avoid conflict all day long. And your nervous system is in a constant response. And that's not sustainable. We're not designed to manage that way. We are designed to have a cortisol spike, an insulin spike, deal with the tiger, fight, run, get to safety, and then shift back into resource, shift back into parasympathetic drive, shift back. And how we begin to change our autonomic responses that we've trained our brain and now trained our nervous system into, because what happens over time is the neural pathways now are just looking for it. Our nervous system, we don't even have to see the tiger anymore. Just the anticipation of the tiger, we are in a stress response. And we are waking up every day anticipating tigers. That needs to be unraveled and reworked. And one of the fastest ways that I have found back to that is to start to consciously recognize how I speak to myself. Do you wake up every day and look forward to your day? Do you speak to yourself like someone you love? We're going to have a great day. We had a great sleep. I have ideas. I have thoughts. I'm going to enjoy this cup of tea. I'm looking forward to who I'm going to see today. I'm never given what I can't handle. There's always a new road. And right now, more than ever, as things are more challenging, the resources are more available. The resolutions become bigger, more grand. I can contribute to that. I can open up to that. But here's the thing, if we're in a stress response, the blood flow is not going to our immune system, so we're not healing. The blood flow is not going to the prefrontal cortex properly, so our higher thinking mind, our ability to make decisions, our amygdala, we are not processing properly. We have to look after our nervous system and train it to look at the world like a safe place, to look at people as intrinsically good, to find the beauty in ourselves, the skills that we have, the talents that we have, to expect good in the world, to notice good in the world. Because here's the challenge. You could walk down the street tomorrow and find everything that will validate your current belief about yourself in the world. So you can walk down the street and see the person over there that's in a bad mood, and the person over there that's misbehaving, and the store over there that's overcharging, and the hotel over there that's having issues and they're not friendly at the front desk, and so on. Or you can wake up and you can override that program. And you can start, and it takes practice because our brain likes to go back to what's familiar. So it requires the repetition for the subconscious mind to learn. So that requires effort. I'm going to choose today to speak to myself like someone I love. I'm going to love myself today. I'm going to appreciate my body today. I'm going to think about things that I never really thought about before, that I used to just take for granted all the time. And I'm going to wake up, and on my way to work, I'm going to make eye contact with the person that's serving me my tea. And when I say thank you, I'm really going to mean it. I'm going to appreciate them for the extra effort that they made today. I'm going to ask them how their morning is going. I'm going to look for all of the evidence that the world is a safe place, that people are intrinsically good, and together we are changing paradigms. We're doing our part. We're looking for the uniqueness in each other. We're training our brains to find the beauty in each other. And you will find the evidence of that day. You will find the stranger that smiles to you on the subway. You will find the person who's kind to you. You will find that people that you interact with are in a good mood. And you'll find that the ones that aren't and they're kind of sour, you won't engage with the same way. You'll be able to observe. You'll be able to see that and just let that drop. You won't jump on that. You won't engage in that. You won't take part in that. And here's why this matters so much. People can say to me all the time, but Meg, look at the world. How can I do that? How can I look at what I love about myself and start to talk to myself in a way that I do to someone that I really care about, that I start to treat myself the same way? But how can I do that when there's all this trouble in the world? And my response to that is, there are two types of physics now. The old physics, Newtonian physics, really said that we are all separate and we function like machines. We're just on autopilot. This is what we do. We're things. We're separate in time and space from each other. And this is how it is. We're just going to keep working it out that way as separate individuals. And the only way things work is to control and to dominate and to create submissiveness. But the new science, the new physics, quantum physics, has experiments that show when you take the smallest particle and you split the atom and you drive them apart, and they're 7 miles in one direction and 7 miles in the other direction, and they're 14 miles apart, and you do one thing with the one atom and the other atom responds as though it is experiencing it too. And then what starts to happen is the first atom before you even do the thought. The other atom responds as though it's already happening, and it hasn't happened. It's in sync. We are all connected. When you change you influence everything. This is proven in the quantum. And so, you're not just speaking to yourself as someone you love for you. You're speaking to yourself as someone you love that gives everyone else permission to speak to themselves as someone they love. And imagine the world we could live in if everyone started to take responsibility for themselves, that they're capable, that there are resources, that we can have the life that we want to be having. And it starts with realigning what we minimized that was so wonderful about us and training ourselves to see that in everyone else. And as we begin to do that, more grows, more grows, more grows, more grows. Our lives change. If you look around, people are learning differently now. They're not going through the traditional road. Life is our teacher. And we have a responsibility for ourselves to become who we intended to be in this lifetime. There's a plan for each and every one of us. And the more we minimize who we really are and all of our beautiful gifts, the less that feels good to us. There is an innate intelligence within us that says that is not the truth. You are believing that, but that is not who you are. That is not how I know you. You are made from the particles of the universe. You are extraordinary. You are a miracle. You are 1 in 8 billion. You are 1 in 8 billion on this planet. That is magnificent. Can you own that? Can you begin to live like that? Because that then says, I am ready for more. Give me the ideas. Give me the resources. I'll do something with them. I'll make something with them. I'll light others up with them. And I believe that as we really do what we came here to do, step into who we really are, we begin to change all of the old paradigms. And that, I thought, was a conversation worth having. So for the next month, until I see you again, I wish for you to speak to yourself in a way that you truly love yourself. You see your capabilities and you're open to everything that's available to you when you change the autopilot of the limitations that you have been believing. And as you do that, you're going to start to see more and more and more of the evidence. If I can ever help you with that, I'm a clinical hypnotherapist. That is what I do all day long, and I love it. I wish you great health, great happiness, great love, great hope, and great promise. Thank you, as always, for inviting me into your homes, for listening, for watching. Be well, and I'll see you next month. Bye for now.